Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new Minecraft PSP time-lapse for today. And in today's video, what we're really going to be doing is setting up the project structure alongside upgrading some of the sort of subsystems and doing some references to the actual Java code and looking at really sort of our block registry. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So throughout today's time-lapse, basically what I went ahead and did was that first off I integrated everything into Visual Studio, which is my IDE of choice. I like to use Visual Studio because it has a lot of features including IntelliSense and a bunch of other stuff that's really useful and helpful for developing games and applications. Furthermore, I've basically upgraded the registry system, which I've done previously and beforehand, but basically right now what I'm really doing is fleshing out that sort of registry system and sort of doing things related to the way that blocks are implemented inside of the game. Right now I'm basically adding in all of the block data and stuff like that, using some of the block subclasses and stuff like that, including ticking systems and other useful sort of features that are part of blocks. This way, blocks have a lot more data to them, and you can basically have a lot more information without necessarily having to pack too much information into a block structure. That being said, I'm still trying to use block IDs because block IDs are made of a single sort of ID element alongside a sort of metadata tag which specifies variants of a single type of block. I'm also using Minecraft's namespace format. It's going to be Minecraft : whatever the block name is, and that can be used to reference to any block too. Having this more dynamic and fleshed out sort of registry makes things a lot easier to sort of deal with in the data side of things. I also went ahead and fleshed out items and item blocks. So an item obviously being an item that you can have in your inventory, and an item block being the block models dropped from certain items. So things like dirt and stuff like that drop an item block, whereas items themselves are things more like tools and things like that. By implementing this sort of system, this also allows us to sort of extend upon the definitions of what an item is and what sort of data that we're carrying with it. I also have a system for static references to all of these by the capital letter name of it, or shouty case, which is actually really useful so that you can go ahead and specifically refer to a generic type of block. For example, a wood block has certain properties to it, same with an anvil and other blocks like that. This system is really useful and allows us to implement basically all of the blocks into the game. Not necessarily meaning that they can be rendered to the screen, but they are inside the game. Furthermore, once this block system is finished, it's going to allow us to basically go ahead and move on to add in some of the UI features and things like that alongside an inventory system, because now that I have items and item blocks defined, everything can be written into an inventory, which is a really useful thing. So everything in an inventory obviously is an item. Once we do that, it's just going to be using Stardust UI functions in order to actually create a really nice looking sort of UI that's really useful and feature rich. And once that's done, we'll really have a version 0.5-pre3, which is still slated for the Friday after this coming one. I've been pretty hard at work working on some papers and stuff like that, but I'm glad to say that I still have enough time to work on this project. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.